Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to know about Bergson Samuelson News Social Welfare Economics. Already we came to know classical welfare economics, where welfare is sum of the welfare of individuals. Parity and efficiency, where if at least one is better off and none is loser of the policy, then it is parity and efficiency or optimum. Then Calder-Hicks compensation principle, where the gainers can compensate the losers, or losers can ask the gainers to stay at the previous level. Now this is new concept, because in Pareto concept, parity and welfare economics, we have many bests, many optimum points. So in the economy, it is not possible there can be so many equilibrium at a time. There should be only one equilibrium position, where the aggregate demand, aggregate supply, or where the production of the economy can match the consumption of the economy. So that is why the concept got developed, that is Bergson social welfare function. This is the development of news welfare economics. So this was developed in 1938, and according to this concept, the welfare in the society is maximum when the first best is achieved with the equity and efficiency. So what is first best, we will know little bit later. This concept is based on some conditions, some assumptions are there. Number one, it is individualistic in nature, that is individual is taken here. Number two, value judgments are taken from outside, that is external part. And number three, it is based on ordinal concept, ordinal utility, not cardinal approach. Now let me explain the concept. For explanation, we need two tools for this concept. One is indifference map and one is production possibility curve. Now what is social indifference map? The social indifference map is a function of individual welfares, as it we already talked, that is it based on individuality assumption. So here social welfare is defined as the function of welfare of all individuals in the society, and this makes the social indifference map as shown in the figure below. W1 is map of individual 1, W2 is map of individual 2, W3 is map of this welfare of individual 3, and taken together all these three individuals, it gives, let we assume there are three individuals in the society, it gives social indifference map. And along y-axis we have taken A's welfare, along y-axis we have taken B's welfare. So here this is in social indifference map, that is set of social welfare curves for the individual welfare curves. Now what is social production possibility curve? So it is simply the production possibility curve for the economy as per the needs of society, what the society desires. So it is simply PPC, or what we call production possibility curve, the maximum production possibility of the economy. So again here A's welfare on o-axis, B's welfare on y-axis. So यहाँ पे प्रोडक्शन पॉसिबिलिटी कर्व लिया गया है, प्रीवियस डायग्राम में हमने दिया है सोशल इंडिफरेंस मैप. With the help of these two tools we will be able to explain For the equilibrium point, two tools must be brought together, must be superimposed. बिकॉज जब सोशल वेलफेयर को हमने एक्सप्लेन करना है, डिफ़ाइन करना है, तो जाहिर सी बात है कि सोसाइटी की नीड्स क्या हैं और सोसाइटी की वो नीड्स सेटिस्फाई कैसे होती हैं, इनकी प्रोडक्शन और कंजप्शन को मैच करना पड़ेगा. एंड टू मैच द प्रोडक्शन एंड कंजप्शन, द indifference, social indifference map must touch somewhere to social production possibility curve. So in this diagram we have taken two together. The social indifference map has been superimposed over the social production possibility curve, और यहाँ पे along O axis, along OY axis we have taken A's welfare, B's welfare. So W1 is one welfare individual, one W2 is second welfare level, W3 for individual third. Here if we see point E, E is the equilibrium point, because here the social indifference curve is tangent to the social production possibility curve, that is production and consumption are matching for the society. T and R are also touching, but equity and efficiency is not possible at R or T. अगर हम R की बात करें तो यहाँ पे B को ज़्यादा बेनिफिट, A को कम. T की बात करें तो वहाँ पे A को ज़्यादा बेनिफिट, B को कम हो रहा है. सो इक्विटी भी है और एफिशिएंसी है. ऑल पॉइंट्स ऑन द प्रोडक्शन पॉसिबिलिटी कर एफिशिएंट, but for equity it is mandatory that distribution should be equal, so it is only possible where E gives equal distribution. So E is the only best point. This is called the first best. When we match the production for the society with the consumption for the society, that level is called the first best. And if first best, that is E point, is not achievable, then we can think of W1 level, where it can be called second best, and so on, third best. So first best, where production for the society matches with the consumptions for the society, that is social supply is equal to social demand. So according to new welfare economics, here we for the first time getting the first one unique best point, that is called the point of bliss. This is called the point of bliss, social constant for this point here, where the production is matching with the consumption in this diagram. PP is the social production possibility curve. W1, W2, W3 are the welfare level of the individual in the society. E is the point of bliss, where W2 is tangent to the production possibility curve, and E shows both equity and efficiency. R and T cannot be equilibrium levels, because efficiency is okay but equity is not possible, and W3 level is out of reach of the society. We cannot go this because budget is not available. So this is what the new social welfare concept developed by, this is called Bergson social welfare function. So this is what the point of bliss, or the first best for the society, and this is possible when we take social indifference curve and the social production possibility curve together. Then only we get the point of bliss, and the point of bliss ensures the equity and efficiency for the society. So thank you, one and all.